5150, Jimmy Cabs, hair still looking great. Witchtrap in the United States. Let's start off real quick. In the beginning, when you get a certain album and it not only captures you and completely takes over, it takes a certain person to really dedicate themselves into the music, especially when they become musicians. Picture yourself living in a country where economics, political situations, and also religion burdens you with the pressures of the music that you love. Witchtrap, Medellin, Colombia. How you doing? Welcome to the United States again. My first question: how do you deal with the Catholic mafia and the pressures of Catholicisms playing metal in Colombia?
Thank you for the welcome. We're doing great here, and the tour is getting along very well. We all of us in Colombia were born in Catholic families, and most of them were very radical in a certain way.
La Virgen.
Yeah. We studied. Yeah, both of us studied in a very religious school.
Shit, también?
Yeah. It was very like, the pressure that you feel every day when you're going to school is like a real nightmare.
Stress, right?
Yeah. In fact, we started listening to metal in those days, like in the 80s, right? And there was a real, like a witch hunt.
Yeah.
And it was in a certain way cool because you were feeling like you were like an outlaw, right? But it was in the same way. It was like, come on, leave me alone, and get the fuck out of my life and stuff.
Yeah,
right. Maybe. Even you have all that situation when you're a kid and all that stuff, in a certain way, I don't know how you start to just get through all of this and start just getting everybody out of your life, and things in a certain way just manage to let you live your life in a certain way. It's very different how people live here. You just, you realize that here people are more free, or they just.
Well, let's remind everybody, Colombia. Let's go back to when you were chavalitos, you were young boys. You had the Civil War with El Padrino blowing up fucking cops and buildings and all that. You had the economic pressures because none of us are ricos, You had also the persecution of police. Here, they do what they do, but in your country, probably even now, you could disappear, man. So if you're into extreme metal in a heavily Catholic country with the additional things that I mentioned, you got to have a lot of fucking balls. And I think that's why you guys have been around for 25 years, right?
Yeah, in some way.
Unos huevos, ¿no? El peligro de la policía, no shit.
I remember when I started to listen metal, that I realized all my friends were persecuted for the cops, and I have a couple times situations that I was oppressed by the cops, and especially because the cops are very religious too.
Oh yeah.
So.
Each hypocrites. It's like the priests.
So even the gangs and the how do you say?
Dilo, lo que sea, no te preocupes.
Los pillos is a kind of men of war, the gangsters. They are very religious, and they find metalheads like satanic aggression. So
are they scared of you? Do they think you?
Actually no. I think. I can manage the situation between the gangsters and metal.
I would be more scared of the police, to be honest with you.
Actually, I think the same.
The
Yeah.
pinche, or the government, pinche gobierno.
You know, when we started, we live in a very dangerous neighborhood because it was in middle of the battle between Medellin cartel and Cali cartel.
Wow.
We live in a neighborhood called Aranjuez. It's located in a zone, an area called Western, Northwest,
Comuna Nororiental.
no,
In
Northeastern,
Spanish.
Northeast,
Yeah.
Northeast area. And in that area in Medellin was very dangerous. Even in the door of our home were killed 2 people maybe.
Wow.
And
You think you got it bad?
but you know what? That situation that hasn't nothing to be about metal. But I can say something. Metal saved my life. Because if I keep going the way of the younger people, my friends, almost all of them are dead now.
Wow. Yeah, they're killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're killed.
I think there's something very important, and you note the difference. You realize about the difference, how the people live here and how the people live in Latin America. Is that you here, you live, and you do whatever with your life, and nobody cares about it. Fucking shit. The other way around, in Colombia, if your hairstyle is different, if you you have earrings and you're male, or if everybody just fuck you and they cannot accept.
Even now, modern day?
Yeah.
Todavía? 2017?
Yeah.
Not
Actually,
as 80s.
Not as radical as it was.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
80s.
But still,
But
huh?
there's still, yeah.
There's still.
For example, here, yesterday we were at the Venom Sing show, and there was all kinds of freaks there, and people just pass by and they don't fucking care. What the fuck?
they're all-
I don't care.
We used to walk
Bien
in
guapos.
the streets of our metal scene in our city. Some people is crossing in their cars and called us, "Hey gays, hey blondie." Hey.
And even the gangsters, my brother was mentioning before.
Yeah.
In the 80s, they managed to cut the hair
Yeah.
of metalheads in the street. They just put you a gun and cut your hair.
Culture.
It was shit, man.
Would it be safe to say that aside, the reason why we're talking about the culture at the time, this is what has influenced your band and the lyrics of your albums?
Actually, I don't think so.
I don't think
No?
so.
Okay.
Explain to us what has inspired your music, because it's very aggressive. Let me backtrack. One of the reasons why I like your band a lot is because here in the United States, and I'm not talking shit about the bands, but in a way I am, because it's the truth. Repetitious, no originality. They copy whatever they were inspired by. I noticed that bands that are either in remote places of the United States that are not big markets, or from different parts of the world, they have a unique, very original sound, and it seems to me rejuvenated, really aggressive, really like the shit. The reason why I like Witchtrap, aside from the originality and the aggression, is the fact that each record that you put out shows a different identity of the band as growing. In other words, you're not stuck doing the same shit over and over again like other bands. What has inspired your music and your lyrics to keep moving forward that way?
Okay, the first thing that has inspired us is like we don't like to follow trends.
Good.
Yeah, when the band first started, it was in the 90s, and in those days, there was lots and lots of death metal, and every band has started to sound the same.
The same.
Yeah, and we were very fans of the early thrash metal and heavy metal, and we were playing in a death metal band those days that was called Dark Millennium. And one day I just said to my brother, you know what, I'm tired of playing this. I would like to play just old school Slayer, old school Venom, old school Metallica, old school, I don't know what, maybe Running Wild.
Trilogy,
Yeah.
Destruction.
Destruction.
Sodom,
Old school.
I remember in the rehearsal, Ripper told me, hey man, just play a simple tupa tupa riff on drums, you know what I mean? And he started to play some riff in the guitar and then just do it tupa 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 tupa. And just after 4 minutes doing that, we stop and say, fuck man, we are doing the wrong thing playing death metal like all bands in Colombia. Why?
And in the world.
And in the world, you know, early 90s, death metal rules. And we took the idea, man, we love heavy metal, we love old school thrash metal. And we are very influenced on heavy metal bands. So we just take the idea to play thrash metal. Nobody gives us dime for Witchtrap in those years.
And it happened the same with black metal.
Yeah,
Metal
yeah.
started to sound, and all the bands, you know, when they begun, there was like Immortal, Dark Throne.
Yeah.
And at the beginning it was cool, right? But right after that, you know, all the same with the same shit. You know, they're always playing the same. And you know, I remember when we were playing our first shows, there was like 5 black metal bands and Witchtrap, right?
Witchtrap, yeah.
That's good though. You stand out, right?
Yeah.
But how was the public? ¿Cómo estaba el público? Did they get it? Did they like it?